Hey guys, welcome back to the 4-1 Wheat. This week's Weekly Wheaties episode number 8. I want to talk about how to safely buy things online. And what I mean by safely buying things is essentially keeping you from getting your email account hacked, getting your credit card hacked, PayPal, Venmo, anywhere you store a credit card online. How to do that in the safest way possible. Because what I don't want y'all to do is use the same credit card for every website and your JCPenney's, and if you go to Woot, I like Woot.com, which also uses Amazon, so I guess that's a bad example, but Target, Walmart, like even for your Hulu subscription and your Disney Plus, whatever, like anywhere you use a credit card online, you should not be using the same credit card. And I know that sounds crazy, that sounds counterintuitive, and you're looking at me and you're saying, Garrett, how many cards do you think I have? To that point, before we go too far, never, let me say that again, never use a debit card online. Never. That is mistake number one. Credit cards have a lot more safety and security behind them for you to get your money back should they get confiscated compared to your debit card. If someone hacks your debit card and withdraws your entire bank account, drops it to zero or past zero, because that can be done too, you're on the hook for that in most cases. And if your bank will protect you, it's not an easy thing to do. I know people who have had that happen to them, and a lot of them have gotten their money back, but it's taken like 6 months to a year. And I do know people who have never received money back. A credit card keeps you exponentially safer in regards to having some security for getting your money back should it get compromised. At the end of this, I'll talk about a way to make this easy for you, because obviously if you can't use the same credit card on every site, how in the world do you get all these credit cards? Because I don't want you to go out and subscribe to 50 different credit cards. That's not the point here. The biggest argument is you have to answer the question, how much do you trust this website, the security the website imposes, the employees on the other side of that website, the employees' logins and passwords that have potential access to your accounts, and the subscription, not the subscription service, but the payment method or the payment gateway that site might be using. So I mentioned Target a second ago. Target's entire payment structure got compromised a year or two ago now. And pretty much anybody that ever had a credit card used, it didn't even have to be stored on Target's website. If you used a credit card at Target, period, there was a chance your card could have got compromised. So we have this big issue with security because there's thousands of different payment methods, payment structures. Just because someone accepts Visa doesn't mean it's using the same service this company uses to accept Visa. There's software like Stripe and Square. PayPal and Venmo kind of fall into those as well, as far as like paying people, paying for a good or a service digitally. But they all have their issues and they can all be compromised. So what I don't want you to do is use the same credit card for multiple sites. And I don't want you to store your credit card for multiple sites unless it has some type of reoccurring payment, like a subscription to, like I mentioned, Hulu or something, or you use that site like very frequently. So like if you're always on Amazon or Walmart, I'll give you a pass there. But if it's a site you only order from 1, 2, 3 times a year, don't store your credit card there. That we're dealing with this whole weight distribution of safety or security, I'm going to call it, versus convenience, right? The more convenient it is for you, the less security that's going to be in place for that to happen, right? I don't know if that completely makes sense with what I'm talking about, but if you have to go manually enter your credit card every time and it's not stored on that website, that's not a convenient thing for you to do, but it's way more secure than leaving your credit card stored on that website. It's one more level of obscurity, and that's all we're looking at. We want to make sure our information, our payment methods are not going to be compromised. Should some website get compromised or hacked, should some person do something malicious, which that's happened even on Twitter. There was a bunch of accounts that quote unquote got hacked on Twitter, but they really didn't. It was just one person that kind of had access to it, and they were quitting or something. I don't know the specifics, so don't quote me on that. But basically, they were trying to cause harm, and they did. There is a website you can use. I'll link it in the description below. It's called haveiBeenPwned.com. And essentially, you can go on there and enter your website, and you can, or no, I'm sorry, not enter your website, enter your email, and you can see what websites have been compromised that store your email on them. And good picture that if your email has been compromised and you had payment method stored on that website, or if you even purchased something on that website, there's a good chance your payment method was compromised as well. So y'all have probably all had cards hacked in the past where your bank emails you or calls you and says, hey, we've seen some suspicious activity. We've gotten rid of the charge. We're going to send you a new card. And then you have to go online and fix all of those issues because you had this card stored here, 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 and here, right? Again, convenience versus security. I would suggest put multi-factor authentication on any type of payment issue you can. PayPal has it. Venmo has it. PayPal and Venmo are generally okay to use online, especially if you have that two-factor authenticated put in. I would also not connect those to your bank account if you can help it. You don't want your bank account connected anywhere you don't have to. It's the same issues with your debit card. The downside to that is if you do use a credit card on something like PayPal or Venmo, they will typically charge you an extra fee for a convenience fee. That's normal. That's the way it is. I would argue that's part of that convenience. You're paying that extra fee to be that much more secure with your payment method. The most secure way to pay for things online, a lot of y'all aren't going to like this, is to use crypto. Crypto's not always easily paid with, right? You have to figure out what the wallet address is. Sometimes you have to enter another code. Like, it's got multi-factor, the transfers issues. Sometimes I like crypto. I'll do an episode on crypto one day. But if a website can use crypto, that's generally fairly safe because they don't have your keys. And crypto essentially, I don't want to say it can't be hacked, but for someone to hack crypto, they would be spending a lot of time and effort and energy where they could go make a lot more money hacking something else. The people that hacked Target, they did that a whole lot easier than they could do that hacking crypto. And that's not a shame on Target. It's just the system that Target was using. So the last thing I want to leave y'all with is essentially my app pick for this whole entire episode. And it's exactly why I wanted to create this episode. There's a website called privacy.com. I intentionally did not really talk about it. I've been using it for probably 4 or 5 years now. I trust it. The background of what they're using to keep their stuff secure is probably arguably more secure than your bank account is even. I still don't think it's quite as secure as crypto, but I don't think it can be. And I might be putting my foot in my mouth here, but hear me out. I still think it's secure enough to use and way more secure than most credit cards or your banks. And that's no fault to banks. It's just banks move very slow in regards to the space in comparison to other things sometimes. What privacy.com allows you to do is connect an account where you can have one payment method. In this case, it's a credit card. I don't connect my bank account or a debit card to privacy.com. I have one credit card connected to it. And privacy.com allows me to create what I'm going to call quote unquote fake credit cards or temporary credit cards to use on other sites. You can do, I think it allows you to create 20 new cards a month on the free version. Y'all know the drill, right? If anything's free, you're the product. So they're getting something from you. They're seeing what you're buying and what shops you're frequenting and things of that nature. And they're probably doing something with that, but they can't get to your money. Personally, I don't have a problem with people seeing what I buy. People can see what you buy on any website anyway. Too much to get into right now, but for the sake of the argument, they also don't see explicitly like what you're buying, just the sites that you're buying for and the total cost associated with it. So I use this for a ton of websites. Even I mentioned Hulu because I use it for Hulu. Every month, Hulu charges my account, I don't know the exact number, I have it tied in with Disney and ESPN Plus. It's like $16. Somehow I have a discount because I purchased Disney Plus like for the 3-year stint a few years ago when it was first released. But for the sake of the argument, let's say Hulu is $16.97 every month. I can create an account in privacy.com. I can name a card Hulu. Once I go into the settings of the card, I can tie it to a direct website or service or institution, business. The first time that card gets used, it will lock into that payment structure. And nobody else can ever use that card, even if you have the numbers, the security code, and the expiration date. That card will never be able to be used again outside of this website or vendor. You can also set it to be a monthly reoccurring fee, a one-time fee, or a yearly type of like bucket, or you could budget it if you want. So you can also look at this like a gift card, a Visa gift card, if you will. Hey, here's your Visa gift card. It has $100 on it. When it's done, it's done. It's a free way of doing that without having to go purchase one of those physical ones and pay that $5 activation fee and all that. It gives you the card number, it gives you the expiration, it gives you the 3 digits security code, and the zip code that's tied to the rest of the payment is part of your account that you set up with the entire profile, if you will. So any website, I go buy like one-off things, especially websites that I might not trust, or they're new and I might take let's say a $15 gamble. I want to buy this product that I don't see anywhere else. I can lock that credit card to a one-time purchase of $15, use it on that website, and when it's used up or when it charges the first time, that card basically vanishes and goes away and can never be used again, at least with those same numbers. So if that vendor tries to recharge you for that, you can get by without having to call and cancel. To that note, what I actually love its use for is subscriptions to things that you might not know how long you want to keep, especially the subscription services that are such a hassle to cancel, where you have to like email somebody, wait for a phone call, be on hold for 30 minutes just to get somebody that tries to upsell you 20 times. Like, I ain't got time to deal with all that. I did this for, I'm trying to think, even like a fitness app. There was something I wanted to test out. I found one that I eventually like, and I might do an episode on that later too, but there was a fitness app I wanted to test out, and it was like $7 a month, but the free plan it had some specific things that I was like, I'll spend $7 for 1 month to check it out, see if I like it. So I locked one card to it. I said, total cost of $7, one-time use. So I was like, I'll pay for 1 month, and then it cancels. Or what you can do is for the subscriptions that they'll give you a month free, and that's like a legit free month, but they say we're automatically going to charge you at the end of the month for the subsequent month. And they won't let you do it without putting in a credit card. It's like, come on, guys, if it's free, it's free. You don't need my credit card? That's another beef I have with them. But if you ever want to sign up for something and you're like, I don't really want to give them a credit card, you can go create a credit card locked to that service, literally put like 1 penny. It actually might limit you to a $1 as the minimum fee. Don't quote me on that. But I know you can do $1 because I've done $1 multiple times. And you say, here, I'm going to test this out for a month. And if I don't like it, I'm good. I don't even have to do anything because they're not going to charge my card for $1. They're going to try to charge it for like $15 or something, right? And that way you don't have to worry about canceling. It's going to auto cancel you. Or if you ever do want to pick it back up again, all you have to do is go update your payment method. You don't have to create a whole new account again and go through the whole rigmarole or like try to reactivate your account, the whole 9 yards. So I really like privacy.com. This is not a paid like advertisement for them. They probably don't even know I exist other than I have an account with them. But I know the free one, I've used it for I know 3 or 4 or 5 years now, and I've never had a problem with it. And I've created tons of cards. I've deleted tons of cards. I have some that have been active for a while. They even emailed me back in like November or December and basically said, hey, with all the new credit cards that are being updated, like with the chips, they said, you have a card that was created a few years ago that needs to be updated to the newer version, so your expiration date's going to change. We just want to give you a heads up. The number may or may not change, but if you here's the vendors we have associated with you with that card. You might want to go in and update those vendors. And I was like, this is amazing. That's almost better service than I've received from banks sometimes. So I would encourage y'all to go check out the app pick video I posted. It's literally just a minute to show you how the app works, but the same premise is the same with their website, privacy.com. And it's just a really cool way to buy things. It keeps you safe when you're buying things online. It keeps you secure. Again, it's not as convenient, but we have to weigh that convenience versus security. And I'm hoping you'd rather be secure than convenient. So happy buying, stay safe. See you next time.